Picture this. Your integrity is questioned. Your motives are misunderstood. Someone you respect, or perhaps someone you once loved, paints a version of you that is completely, painfully false. You feel it, don't you? That primal urge welling up in your chest, the desperate need to intervene, to correct the narrative, to defend your honor. The voice in your head screams, if I could just explain it to them, they would understand. We are conditioned from birth to believe in the power of explanation. We are taught that words can build bridges, solve conflicts, and reveal truth. But this is a dangerous half-truth. And in the chasm between that half-truth and the whole truth lies the great dividing line between the boy and the man, between the supplicant and the sovereign. The Stoics knew this. They understood that while communication has its place, the act of explaining yourself, especially to those who are unwilling or unable to hear, is an act of profound weakness. Today, we delve into one of the most misunderstood tenets of true strength. We will explore why a truly powerful man, a Stoic man, never explains himself. This isn't about arrogance or being closed off. It's about a radical form of self-possession. It's about understanding where true power resides. And by the end of this, you will see the urge to explain not as a solution, but as a symptom of a much deeper problem. Why truly powerful men never explain themselves. The Stoic mindset. First, we must understand that explanation is a surrender of frame. The moment you feel compelled to justify your actions to another person, you have unconsciously stepped out of your reality and into theirs. You have entered their courtroom, accepted them as the judge and jury, and are now pleading your case. The entire interaction now operates on their terms. The average man does this constantly. His boss criticizes his method, so he launches into a 5-minute monologue defending his workflow. His partner accuses him of being distant, so he provides a detailed log of his emotional state for the past week. He is perpetually on trial, hoping to win a not guilty verdict from the court of outside opinion. But in doing so, he has already lost. He has implicitly communicated that their judgment of him is more valid than his own knowledge of himself. The Stoic man, however, refuses to enter the courtroom. He resides in his own frame, governed by his own principles. When criticized, he doesn't react with a defensive tirade. He listens. He assesses. Is there truth in the criticism? If yes, as Marcus Aurelius would advise, he gladly changes, for he seeks truth. If no, he recognizes the criticism for what it is, an external event, an opinion, a cloud passing in the sky. It has no jurisdiction over his inner citadel. He doesn't need to defend his actions, because his actions were aligned with his own values. They are self-indicating. The moment you begin to explain is the moment you hand them the gavel. This leads us to the second brutal truth, the futility of controlling perceptions. You believe that with the right words, the perfect sequence of logic, you can install your reality into someone else's mind. This is an illusion. People do not see the world as it is. They see it as they are. Their perception of you is filtered through a dense mesh of their own insecurities, biases, past traumas, and present moods. The ordinary man spends his life trying to become a master wordsmith, hoping to craft the perfect explanation that will finally bypass these filters. He exhausts his mental and emotional energy, trying to polish his reflection in 1,000 different cracked and distorted mirrors. He is frustrated when, despite his best efforts, they still see a monster, or a fool, or a villain. The Stoic understands this as a fool's errand. It is an attempt to control what is, by its very nature, uncontrollable. It violates the most fundamental Stoic principle, The dichotomy of control, your actions, your intentions, your character. These are yours. How another person chooses to interpret them, that is theirs. To waste your energy on their interpretation is, as Epictetus would say, to be disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them. The Stoic man focuses his energy not on managing his public relations, but on forging his character. He strives to be a solid, unshakable mountain, not a perfect reflection in a fleeting pond. The reflections will change with the light and the wind, but the mountain remains. Stop trying to be a perfect reflection. Be the unshakable mountain. Third, and perhaps most importantly, the Stoic recognizes that actions are the only true language. In a world saturated with cheap talk, empty promises, and carefully crafted narratives, deeds are the only currency with any real value. Your character is not a mission statement you write. It is a structure you build, brick by brick, with every choice you make. Think about it in the most practical terms. The man who is perpetually late for meetings can offer 1,000 eloquent explanations. Traffic, an urgent call, a sick dog. Each explanation might be valid in isolation, but the pattern of his actions tells the real story. He is unreliable. His words are a smokescreen for the truth of his deeds. The man who is consistently on time, prepared, and present needs no explanation. His reliability is a self-evident fact. His actions have already spoken, rendering any verbal defense completely redundant. The average man lives in the realm of words. He believes he can talk his way into being a good person, a reliable partner, a man of integrity. He uses explanations as a patch to cover the holes in his character. The Stoic man lives in the realm of deeds. He understands that a single, consistent action outweighs a library of explanations. He focuses on closing the gap between his stated values and his actual behavior. He knows that in the long run, your life itself becomes the only explanation that matters. Your character should be a resume written in deeds, not a mission statement written in words. Fourth, you must grasp the immense power of withholding explanation. When you refuse to explain, you create an information vacuum. In a world where everyone is broadcasting their every thought and feeling, your silence makes you a black box. It makes you unpredictable, intriguing, and psychologically dominant. People cannot easily categorize you, manipulate you, or gain leverage over your emotional state because you haven't given them the manual. The ordinary man is an open book. His need for approval makes him transparent. His emotional reactions are on the surface, easily read, and easily triggered. His critics know exactly which buttons to push to get a defensive, flustered explanation out of him. With every explanation, he leaks energy, status, and power. He gives away pieces of himself for free. The Stoic man, by contrast, understands that his inner world, his thoughts, his peace, his motivations, is his most sacred and valuable possession. It is the sanctum of his inner citadel. He doesn't grant access to just anyone. His silence isn't empty. It's full. It's full of self-assurance. It communicates, on a primal level, my peace is not contingent on your approval. My self-worth is not up for debate. This forces others to engage with the reality of what you do, not the story you tell. It commands a different kind of respect. A respect born of mystery and demonstrated strength, not of appeasement. An open book is easily read and quickly forgotten. A locked chest invites a lifetime of respect. Finally, let's introduce a critical nuance. This philosophy is not a vow of absolute silence. A Stoic is not a mute. The key is to distinguish between explaining and communicating. Explaining is defensive. It is a reaction to a perceived judgment. It is oriented towards the past, trying to justify what has already been done. It is an appeal for validation from a position of lower status. Communicating, on the other hand, is proactive. It is a tool for alignment and shared understanding, used with those who have earned your trust. It is oriented towards the future, aimed at achieving a common goal. It is a transmission of information from a position of equal or higher status. The ordinary man explains himself to his critics and his enemies. He wastes his breath trying to win over the unwinnable. The Stoic man communicates with his allies and his team. A Stoic CEO communicates the company's vision to his board. That is productive. He does not, however, explain his life choices to an anonymous troll on the internet. That is futile. A Stoic man might communicate his feelings to his partner to build a stronger future together. He will not, however, endlessly explain his past actions to a partner who consistently uses them as ammunition. One is an act of construction, the other is an act of demolition. Don't explain to those who doubt you. Communicate with those who build with you. This brings us to the heart of the Stoic mindset. It is not one of cold, unfeeling arrogance. It is one of profound self-awareness and unshakable inner security. The great Stoic emperor, Marcus Aurelius, was not afraid of being wrong. He wrote, "If any man can convince me and bring home to me that I do not think or act aright, gladly will I change. For I search after truth, by which man never yet was harmed." The Stoic is open to truth, but he is indifferent to opinion. He will change his actions based on sound reason and evidence, but not based on the emotional whims of others. This is the ultimate strength. And then there is the master-level refrain from Epictetus. He taught, "If you hear that someone is speaking ill of you, do not defend yourself against what they say, but answer, 'He must not know about my other faults, or he would not have mentioned only these.' Can you feel the power in that?" It's a statement of such radical self-acceptance and supreme confidence that it completely disarms the critic. It demonstrates that your self-worth is so solid, so internally validated, that the stones they throw simply bounce off the walls of your inner citadel. In the end, the refusal to explain is the final expression of a man who has done the work. He has defined his own values. He has strived to live by them. He has accepted his flaws. He has taken full ownership of his life. He has nothing to prove, because he is busy being. His life is the argument. His character is the verdict. The energy you spend explaining yourself is energy you could be spending on building, creating, and becoming. Stop pouring your most valuable resource into the leaky bucket of other people's approval. Let them think what they will. Let them talk. You have work to do. Your reality is forged by your actions, not by their opinions. If you are ready to reclaim your power and let your deeds do the talking, subscribe to Modern Stoic and leave a comment below with one area in your life where you will choose action over explanation this week. Remember, be the mountain,